There's going to be 160 million votes, we think, being cast during this election, cast and counted. But actually, look, we can see some. We've already got the first 6 from Dixville in New Hampshire already appearing on that map. There's obviously a long way to go. And we've got 50 states here, but actually we don't need to pay attention to all 50 really. That's because some states are pretty consistent in terms of how they vote. They're a lot like a safe Labour seat or a safe Conservative seat in a UK general election. Have a look at Kansas, for instance, and look at what's been happening. So this is the 2020 election, but if we go back in time and look at every election since 2008, you can see it has gone Republican every time. Red, red, red. In fact, it's voted Republican since 1968. Or let's do it the other way around and go to a Democrat stronghold, Minnesota, up in the north. Again, look at this. If we go back in time, you can see that has been blue the whole time, actually since 1976. There are 36 states in the US that have voted the same way in the last 6 elections. And that's why the swing states become so crucial. These battleground states here in grey, you can see them. If we look at all of that, that is the ones we are really, really interested in terms of what happens. So what is happening in terms of the polling in those states? Well, these are the battleground states, and this shows the average lead over all the polls that we've been looking at. If it's on the left in blue, that is in favour of Kamala Harris. It's on the right in red, that is in favour of Donald Trump. So if you look at that, Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin, Nevada, they seem to be trending towards Kamala Harris, but Georgia, North Carolina, Arizona, the polling there favours Donald Trump. But the really important thing here is these are not big leads. 1.7 there, that's the biggest, and that is within the margin of error. So all of these could go to Donald Trump, all of them could go to Kamala Harris. We really, really can't say. But let's say we do fill it in and see what's happening in terms of that. We can look at that. So we need to go back to the 2020 race and just make sure we're over on that. If we go and look at that, we can see that it's going to be a sort of different outcome. So there we go, the 7 swing states here, those are really, really crucial. Go according to that polling we talked about. Give that to Donald Trump, give Georgia as well, North Carolina, and he's getting up there. He's getting closer to that 270. But if the polling's right and Harris takes these states as well, she still hasn't got it. It comes down to Pennsylvania. You can see that takes her over the line to 270. But again, you give that to Donald Trump, and Donald Trump becomes president again. That's how tight this is in those 7 battleground states. But having said that, there could always be the odd surprise. Look at this. So that's the battleground states, but look at the polling in Iowa. Now, Donald Trump won this in 2016. He won it in 2020. But the recent polling, especially with the recent very impactful poll, suggests Harris might have a slim lead. And that's not something we had really been looking at. And that could change the nature of this race slightly. So when it comes to watching those results come in, those 7 battleground states are where to look. There could always be the odd surprise.